Hello students, now we will start a series of lecture on post-streptococcal diseases. This topic is very important. We will discuss post-streptococcal diseases one by one in different parts. So what is post-streptococcal disease? First, this is very important to understand the concept that what is post-streptococcal disease. Post-streptococcal disease is also called non-suppurative diseases. Non-suppurative mean pus formation is not included. Suppurative mean pus formation. Non-suppurative mean pus is not formed. So post-streptococcal disease is also called non-suppurative. What is post-streptococcal disease? So these are the disorders in which a local infection with group A streptococci, group A streptococci is followed weeks later by inflammation in an organ that was not infected by the streptococci. So remember that after infection with group A streptococci, so that is why it is called post streptococcal. After local infection with group A streptococci, few weeks later inflammation in an organ that was not infected by the streptococci. So remember that where inflammation in an organ occur which is not infected by group A streptococci. So remember that these diseases occur after the infection with group A streptococci, but this is not important where infection occur group A streptococci also included. So what is the definition? These are the disorders in which a local infection with group A streptococci is followed weeks later by inflammation in an organ that was not infected by streptococci, but these diseases occur after streptococcal infection. Now what is the inflammation? The inflammation which occur in this infection is caused by an immunological response to streptococcal M protein. You know that streptococci have certain types of M proteins. So why these diseases occur after streptococcal infection? Because the inflammation is caused by an immunological antibody response to streptococcal M protein. You know that streptococci have certain type of N protein and our body produce immunological response, I mean antibodies to streptococcal M proteins, and these antibodies cross-react with human tissues. Antibodies in response to M proteins also are produced, and these antibodies are cross-react with human tissue. So these diseases are caused in response to immunological response of our body. So that's why these are called post-streptococcal diseases, because they are produced in response to immunological response of our body to streptococcal infection. So some strains of Streptococcus pyogenes bearing certain M proteins are nephrogenic and cause acute glomerulonephritis, and other strains being different M proteins are rheumatogenic and cause acute rheumatic fever. So remember that some strains of group A streptococci have different M protein and some have different M protein. Some strains of M protein produce antibodies that are nephrogenic. They cause acute glomerulonephritis, and other strains bearing different M proteins are rheumatogenic, and they cause acute rheumatic fever. So both these are important. Acute glomerulonephritis are important and acute rheumatic fever are important. Both these are important post-streptococcal diseases. In this video we will discuss acute glomerulonephritis in detail. Note that these diseases appear several weeks after the actual infection. Remember that these diseases appear several weeks after the actual infection, because that is the length of time it takes to produce sufficient antibodies. Remember that to produce antibodies it takes time. So now we will see what is acute glomerulonephritis in detail. hope so you understand the concept of post-streptococcal disease. Now we will discuss acute glomerulonephritis in detail. So what is acute glomerulonephritis? Nephrogenic strains of antibodies produced to certain M proteins cause acute glomerulonephritis. So acute glomerulonephritis typically occurs 2 to 3 weeks after skin infection by certain group A streptococcal types in children. So remember that it occurs 2 to 3 weeks after skin infection. Which skin infection? The skin infection causes by a certain group A streptococci, where this skin infection occur typically in children. For example, M protein type 49. From MCQ point of view, this is very important. M protein type 49 causes acute glomerulonephritis most frequently. So remember that acute glomerulonephritis typically occurs 2 to 3 weeks after skin infection by certain group A streptococcal types in children. For example, M protein type 49 causing acute glomerulonephritis most frequently. So remember that acute glomerulonephritis is more frequent after skin infection than after pharyngitis. So remember that acute glomerulonephritis is more frequent occur after skin infections than after pharyngitis. Remember that. The most striking clinical features are hypertension. Remember that most striking clinical feature are hypertension, edema of face and ankles, and third is smoky urine. So remember the most important clinical features of acute glomerulonephritis. These features are hypertension, edema of the face and ankles, and smoky urine due to red cell in the urine. Smoky urine due to red cells in the urine. Edema of the face and ankle, especially periorbital edema. Periorbital edema is especially around the eyes. Edema of the around the eyes is called periorbital edema. Most patients recover completely. So remember that most patients recover completely. Reinfection with streptococci rarely leads to recurrence of glomerulonephritis. Some patients, mostly patients, recover completely, but if reinfection with streptococci occur, then it rarely leads to recurrence of glomerulonephritis. Now we see how this disease initiated. This disease is initiated by antibody antigen complex, where these antigen antibody complex occur on which human tissue? These complexes occur on the glomerular basement membrane. Glomerular basement membrane. Complement is activated after this complex on glomerular basement membrane. Complement is activated, and C5a factor attracts neutrophils, and neutrophils secrete enzymes that damage the endothelium of the glomerular capillaries. What occur? Antigen antibody complex form on glomerular basement membrane. Complement activates C5a attracts neutrophil that secrete enzymes that damage the endothelium of the glomerular capillaries. It can be prevented. How this can prevent it? It can be prevented by early eradication of nephrogenic streptococci from skin colonization sites. Mostly if you eradicate from skin colonization sites these bacteria, these strains of streptococci, you know that nephrogenic strain cause acute glomerulonephritis. So if you eradicate nephrogenic strains from skin colonization sites, so this post streptococcal infection does not occur. But remember that if you give penicillin after the onset of these symptoms, so this infection will not be eradicated. Remember that. If symptoms starts, then this infection is not eradicated by the administration of penicillin. But if you eradicate it early at the site of skin colonization, so this infection will not occur. Hope so you understand. We will discuss acute glomerulonephritis in detail. In coming lecture we will discuss acute rheumatic fever. If you have any query, you can ask in the comment section. Like the video, subscribe the channel. Thank you.